everybody, g'day and welcome to another episode of Tagged, proudly recorded here on Wurundjeri Country. I am so pleased to welcome back my handy co-host, Sarah Hosking. Mate, how are you going?
I am very good. I know that you are just saying that to pump up my own tyres because I did listen to your episode last week and you told Jess that you wanted her from the get-go. So
yes, and obviously,
we spoke about compliments the other week and whether or not you say it behind someone's back or to their face.
Yeah, well, I knew you'd listen, so it was basically to your face. But listen, it's a bit different for us today. We're actually standing at the desk because we're two cripples. We're in the wars. You've just had surgery on your hamstring, which is why you missed last week.
Yes.
How are you going? Because you're struggling to sit. Do we need to get you one of those little blow-up donuts?
Oh, yeah. I actually have a cushion when I sit down at the moment. Yes, I have. I had hamstring surgery, reattached my tendon, had some issues throughout the season for the whole season and managed to get that fixed now. So I'm stoked because I'm feeling 10 times better than I did for the last 6 months. But yes, at the moment, it's a struggle to sit down on the toilet, on a chair, anything. So I've got a little cushion or donut
stitches?
anytime. Yeah, stitches. It's like right in the corner
bum?
of your... Well, you think like your bum cheek. It's like right in the corner of your bum cheek. So,
ow.
you know, win some, you lose some.
Yeah, well,
That's
you were winning because you had your parents waiting on you for, 2 weeks? Like, that's not a bad gig.
Mum, a shout out to Mum here.
Yeah,
She
let's tag Mum.
Yeah, tag Mum. She doted over me for the last 2 weeks and has cooked me, roast, anything I wanted, steak. She'd make me breakfast, lunch and dinner. She'd be waking me up to have some medication and everything. You name it, she looked after me.
How good's that? Well, your eyes look nice and clear.
Clear
I
today,
assume they
you
wouldn't
reckon?
have been after. It was a pretty hectic surgery. Like, they would have had to dose you up a fair bit to get through the pain.
I'm telling you, I've been on cloud 9 for the last 2 weeks. I'd have a phone call one day, could not remember it the next day, but just like recycled sleep. I reckon I was getting 13, 14 hour sleeps a day and like still able to sleep through the night. It was great.
Well, TMI, but are you clogged up? Because that they come hand in hand.
Believe it or not, yes. So
Yes. Oh God! Can you tell we've been injured before?
I'm on the laxatives at the moment, and they haven't quite worked properly. So I'm telling you, I've got this cute little pot gut going on. Got to do like the little injury syringes in my tummy too. So it's like the bottom half is just.
I've actually got a funny story about laxatives. Me and my housemate Sarah Rowe, who plays at the Pies, we were out one night, and we met all these blokes, and we're like, "What are we doing? Let's all go back to ours and just keep drinking there." And there was a pack of laxatives, like a box of laxatives that literally said like Laxapro or whatever it was, out on the kitchen bench, and we didn't even notice until the next morning. So all these, like, we're in there with like 6 blokes who we've only met that night, and there's a box of laxatives there that we didn't notice. So
I'm just thinking someone's going to go for the Panadol and accidentally
yeah,
take it.
I know, exactly. No, it's so bad.
Funny. Just actually before, we're going completely off script and rogue here. Jess played a prank on someone in year 12. So we used to have like this shared common room, and it was like you'd have a shared fridge. You'd just put your lunch and label it. So Jess would bring a carton of milk, she'd bring some butter, and like without fail, by the end of the day, half of it's gone. Like people just help themselves. She clearly labelled it, and she's like, these people. Like they are taking my drinks, my food, and I'm labelling it. So she bought a carton of milk and then ended up putting drops of laxatives in it. Didn't tell anyone about it. Told her friends and was like...
Everyone's through the eye of a needle for the rest of the day.
And at that time, you're like year 11, 12. No one talks about on a daily basis. So it's like she's all excited because she's waiting and watching in class who's like getting uncomfortable.
Who's crossing the legs?
Yeah, I know.
Jesus.
I don't know if that's illegal or not, but yeah. You know what? It was her food, their fault if they took it.
Yeah, and if she got in trouble, she can just say that it was you because you look the same anyway.
Exactly. Now, yesterday we had the absolute pleasure of being involved in the AFLW Coral Carpet, as we are calling it, and the W Awards, which was outstanding.
Yeah, everyone looked beautiful, dressed up, out of the footy gear. It's incredible.
Absolutely stunning.
Everyone scrubs up when you're not sweating your hair and haven't brushed it for 3 days. And
well, some people love it, some people hate it. And I'm talking players. So I absolutely love the fact that we can be in, shorts and singlets while you're running around and you feel gross and disgusting. And then I love getting frocked up.
We love getting frocked up.
Obviously.
Frocked up, just to clarify, because that was very close. I had to pause for a second there. Frocked up.
Frocked up.
No, I love it too. I love getting. I feel like you don't often feel super girly for majority. Yeah, like the feminine side.
Yeah.
So it's nice to get dolled up and also see other people, but also see people's like personalities come out. Like I remember Jessie Wardlaw a couple years ago. Remember she came out in that like bright, colourful suit, and she had like the sunnies on, and she looked she had like the cornrows as well. And I was like, that is the coolest outfit I've seen worn at the W Awards.
You see personalities come out. It's really cool. Well, paint the picture. Like we've obviously been before. What's the night entail? You know, who's best on? Like, there's always someone that's, you know, everyone loves a little charger glass.
Yeah, well, I guess it goes two ways. Like, you either play for the doggies and you're the loosest team there every single year. Shout
out to the doggies.
Shout out to the dogs. They always carry it. They're kind of known as like the party team, I guess. So they always do very well. Or it can feel like a long night. I feel like it also depends if your teammates are in the running for things or not. So if your teammates,
MVP.
if you're able to celebrate your teammates there, then it's really exciting because you're watching the vote like, oh. But if you know that your teammates aren't in with a chance, you're kind of like, oh, it's getting.
Where's the night going? Is it like a quiet night and a casual night, and we're going home in half an hour? Or is it?
Yeah, exactly. But we actually got the chance to interview. We were working the coral carpet. Working it physically, as in we were working it, but we also got to chat to a few pretty cool chickie babes on the carpet. So why don't we take a listen? It's the drizzle, it's the MRO Driscoll. Drizzo!
Have you heard Tagged?
I'm a regular listener. I always tune into you in rooms. Talking a lot of smack most of the time, a little bit of footy, but a lot of smack.
Number one Tagged fan, Keely Skepper, you made it.
Oh, it feels awesome to be here. I love the footy. I'm so excited. Have you heard of Tagged? Listen to our show?
No.
What the hell are you doing?
No.
What's your favourite episode?
The one where you talked about footy. I've seen the highlights reel, and I love the hats and the fascinators, and you guys really do go all out.
Who's been the best tagger this season?
Best tagger, as in out of
On
YouTube?
field, no. But also that.
Well, I have to say you, don't I? Because you're right next to me, so sis.
No, best footy tagger. Who's been the best tagger on field?
Lucy Single.
The brace is out to play today. Don't get my toes. People have to pay for them. If there was one player or coach in there who's going to do a shoey tonight, who's it going to be?
I thought you were going to ask me who my favourite is.
No, we know that. It's me, Ormond Conti. She's openly admitted that to me.
Well, Stas isn't here tonight to do a shoey,
wow. So who else is going to take that, hand the baton?
No, I don't know. My shoes might work.
Go out on a bang, Nick.
If Tigers win the premiership next year, will you do a shoey for us?
Ruby Slasher would do a shoey.
So if we were to collaborative post with you, would you collaborate? Because Sarah was embarrassed by Paige Scott, and Scotty, your teammate,
What happened?
didn't collaborate with her when Sarah tried to collaborate
You
with
went,
her on a post.
you went for a collaboration and got declined.
Yes, would you collaborate?
I'd collaborate, 100%.
Paige, I'm a little bit nervous, and I'm going to address the elephant in the room. I tagged you on Instagram in a photo and invited you to collaborate with me, and you left me in the dark and didn't accept. Can you please give me some context why?
It was a pretty bad photo. I'm not putting that on my feed.
Well, there you have it. What a night. So much fun. But of course, we can't look forward without quickly looking back, because we have two teams through to the grand final. Let's first have a look at Brizzy Cats. I think everyone's disappointed for the Cats. What'd you make of the game?
100%. Brizzy's just been a powerhouse for the last 6-7 years of the whole competition. Cats on the rise. I think there's some really cool stories. Obviously, Renee Gehring finishing up, Meg McDonald, just everyone at the moment. I'm sitting at home, had tears in my eyes with what she's been going through.
Feeling for her.
100%.
But just for, her dad passed away a couple of weeks ago, and she's Geelong's captain, obviously. The way she has fronted up through this final series, even doing interviews post-game and everything is incredible.
Phenomenal.
Epitomises a leader, because the face she has been able to put on and lead that team through to from not winning a final to a prelim is incredible. So shout out to Meg Mack, and our hearts go out to her as well.
We're sitting here thinking for her and wrap our arms around her. But on to the game. Like, it was an outstanding game, and I thought there was a few lead changes here and there. Geelong coming back towards that last quarter. They were up by a couple of points. There was a little bit of controversy that, like, I might be really left field here. In the dying seconds of the game, when Brisbane arguably won the game, Nina Morrison is tackled about 65, 70 metres out and on the boundary and given a free kick for not having the ball. Yeah, so he'd been tackled, free kick, and siren goes. I reckon there's about 3 seconds that pass, and then one of the Brizzy girls pumps the ball into the crowd and just bombs it.
Yeah.
Now, everyone was celebrating. Like, all the Brizzy girls put their hand up and celebrating. I'm hoping I know the rules, but I've had times where my teammates are telling me to bomb the ball from 60. I'm lucky if I can kick 30 metres. Yeah. But they're like, Sarah, take a shot.
Yeah.
If Nina Morrison had have actively gone, I'm going to take this shot, and then that ball gets kicked out, that should be 50 metres.
Technically,
within the time frame. So, like, I don't know if I'm messing up the time frame, but there is potentially an argument that if she had have backed up and gone, I'm going to take this shot 70 metres out, ball goes into the crowd 50 metres.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've seen it in the men's as well.
Yes.
I mean, a couple perhaps in the men's, obviously. Adelaide not being able to, that goal that was a goal counted as a point.
Yeah.
It's cost them a final spot.
And then I don't know if it was Johnny Noble. One of the
Pies boys.
Someone did the same thing, and it was like, it arguably should have been 50 metres.
Yeah.
Or was. So
yeah, it's an interesting one, because it's that one that, do they look at that? Will Cats look, that umpires can come back and, go, yep, this actually should have been called this.
Yeah.
The AFL might look into it, but I dare say they'll only look into it if the Cats put it to them and make a big deal. Obviously, Nina Morrison at the time just thought whatever, but you do wonder, in my head I go, if that's an Emma Carney or someone, a really mature, someone who is on it, a captain.
Taylor Harris, Caitlin Greiser.
But even Emma Carney, I think she's got the smart. Nina Morrison, very smart player, but Emma Carney's been around a long time. She's going, what was that? Making a big deal of it, making sure that ball's getting back, and then that's a 50-metre penalty. It's a very interesting point. But I guess let's talk about North and Crows as well, because North Melbourne, they have been pretty incredible. They've gone from not beating those top 3 sides, Crows, Briz and D's,
and that was
for
a big
3
talking
years.
point too. It was a huge talking point.
Hadn't beaten them for 3 years. They've never beaten Brisbane, keep in mind. But 3 years, they knock off D's in the first final, and then they knock off the Crows.
Huge. That, like, when you talk about teams peaking and you peak at the right time, obviously they've had a great season, but they also look, when you look and feel, you see the atmosphere of the team, and, when teams have something else or something special. At the moment, in my opinion, I'm watching, it looks like North have that right now.
I think so as well. Yeah, absolutely. I think they seem more convincing than Brisbane going into this final. But, how exciting for North Melbourne, right? Like, this is the first grand final that club as a whole has been in this century. The last century? This century.
For the whole century.
Is the century 100?
100 years, Bruce?
You were thinking as well, weren't you? The century's 100 years since their last grand final.
Yeah.
Which
That's insane.
Is that right? No. Tegan, tell us, what one is it?
Since the year 2000.
Oh, in this century.
We're both just slowly going to Okay, sorry everyone. I hope that's still involved.
But Dave,
maths was not our strong point. My dad's an accountant. He's going to be so disappointed in that.
Hey, I know, Walnut.
Hey, when we got that info, someone said century. Just tell us 10 years, 20 years.
Exactly. Put it out to us.
God. Century, I now get it. It's like 2000.
Yeah. So not in the last 100 years.
Anyway, well, it seemed, hey, kangaroos haven't had much success. Put it that way,
haven't.
so it is believable, and we're on board kangaroos.
Yeah,
like
we
right
are.
now, I feel like a lot of people in the competition, kangaroos wouldn't be their favourite side. For like, you know, it's not for any reason in particular, but they're savage,
we hate
they're
them. No, I'm
brutal.
kidding.
They're savage, they're brutal, they're always tough, they're
Yeah.
relentless. I think, you know, a little bit of biff on the field at any stage with any team.
Absolutely.
But they're respected. And
Yeah.
I think this year now, it's a great talking point because now we're having a Melbourne-based grand final because North have just won. So the last few grand finals, so you look at Adelaide, for example, their atmosphere, the crowds that they have had at grand finals, I was lucky enough to play in one of them. 53,000 people. Now, I'm telling you, when I was playing at Carlton, 50,000 of those supporters were Adelaide supporters. 3,000 would have been Carlton supporters.
Yeah.
You could hear a pin drop anytime we did something good. But
Which was not much that grand final. Sorry. Sorry.
Sorry, Teagues, add that to the list. But I'm telling you, the atmosphere that Adelaide have been able to provide over the years, like I take my hat off to them and I love it. I'm asking and begging that I think we've got a Melbourne home grand final now for Kanga.
Roo.
And I'm saying they've got over 50,000 members.
Yeah.
Icon Park at the moment can fit a capacity of 12,000. This game,
there.
yeah, absolutely. Get there. This game needs to be sold out. Like
Yeah.
it should have a capped stadium.
Yeah, what an opportunity, particularly while the AFL grand finals can be played anywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw the D's win away from Melbourne
Yeah.
last year. It would have been so special for them to be able to do it in front of a home crowd. North have that opportunity.
Yeah.
So,
And playing Brisbane. Brisbane have played 5 out of the possible 7 grand finals. One? Yeah.
yes.
1-1.
Yeah, 1-1. Yeah.
1-1 grand final. So they've played in so many. They've been such a powerhouse for such a long time. And you've got North who are playing their first grand final.
Yeah, 100%. Get there, get behind them. It's going to be a great day. G-Flip is playing the pre-game.
Yeah.
Now, with G-Flip, they have hosted a hall of after parties. Not
W
last
Awards,
night.
one
The
year,
W
was it?
Awards
Yeah,
a
W
few
Awards.
years back. They had
Yeah.
everyone back to their house. I'm going to call them out here because I know they're a big star. They've got a couple of arias
few
now.
arias.
All
Doing
that.
quite
Well
well,
done,
too.
by the way. Very well deserved for the album drummer.
Yeah.
They're the ambassador for the Cup this year, I believe. So the Cup, performing at the grand final, I think G-Flip needs to host the grand final after party as well. So this is the call out. G-Flip, well done for volunteering. Once again, your beautiful apartment.
We're
Thank
putting you up for it.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, amazing.
All right, well, we don't shut up. So we haven't had a lot of time for audience questions since we've started the potty a few weeks ago. But I put it out to our listeners on Instagram and they've come in. So we've picked up our favourite few and we're just going to jump into it. This is what you guys at home wanted to hear from us. First up, who's your villain team and why is it the Lions? So true, though. So true.
Like if there's one team in the competition that everyone hates, and hates in a nice
Hates.
way. Well, no, you know, like doesn't really like.
Yeah, it's like everyone has a rivalry with them.
Typically
This is-
Brisbane.
This is just after we've been like, go North.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Sorry, Brisbane, we do like
Sorry,
you.
Brisbane.
It's
We
just-
respect you. You're
Yeah.
a great team. I think, personally, it's because of the battles that Collingwood have had with the Lions. The closest we've gotten to a grand final was a prelim that we lost by 4 points up
Yeah.
at the Gabba. And it was by this stupid bounce of the ball of Sarah Rowe's kick from like 45 metres out. And you've never seen a ball bounce like that ever. And that
And you
was
just
like,
hold on to it, though,
oh, you hold on
Gets
to
you.
it. And then since then, like, you know, they're pretty lippy. They're,
Yes. Well, that's probably my point. So, like, first of all, I just have so much respect for them as a team because they are elite and they've been a powerhouse for 8 years.
Oh, yeah.
So,
what Stars has done. Stars is a ripper. Like,
insane.
you'd love to play for Stars
Yeah.
in the way of, the way he has those girls, like, just the way they're a well-oiled machine working all together. Their system is incredible.
yeah. And I think, like, that's where credit to them. No wonder everyone, well, our listeners, obviously, as well, are like, it's Brisbane because they are. And it's like you want a little bit of change up in the competition. And they have been up there as a pinnacle of the best in the competition.
Yeah.
So I think that is a great point as to why people sometimes have that biff with Brisbane. The second point, I love the characters in their team too, you know, and that is what makes AFLW. So I think it is no shock and no surprise. Dakota Davidson is up there as one of those characters in a team where people love her or hate her. And as an opposition, it's like, I don't know, I'm not as a key defender on her, but you'd hate it because, you know, if she's on, she's in your head and she's happy to, you know, we've spoken about this before, dance around on the mark, and you're like, it does get in people's heads. Yeah. You've got Sophie Conway, same thing, loves a chat on the field, but she can be so bloody classy and damage teams.
They can hurt you with the football side of things as well.
I think that's the thing. They're well respected, very, very well respected, but again, love the ins and outs of like why teams don't really like them or respect them for those reasons.
Yeah, no, 100%. Cool. Right, next one.
Next one, I got this one. So, weirdest injury we've sustained. We or someone in your team.
Okay. Does this have to be purely football?
No. No, I'm going to say no.
Okay. Well, because when I was in primary school, I walked across. Do you remember the bike racks that were built like a triangle? So, and it was a wet day, and I was hanging out with a few of my mates, and they were all boys. I reckon I was in like maybe 4, and it was a wet day, and I was walking across the top of it, being hell cool, you know, balancing act, and my feet have slipped either side, and I have landed. Hoo-ha first. We know you love calling it your hoo-ha.
The JJ hoo-ha.
Yeah, all those. Hoo-ha first on the metal bars. And when I say Mum had to pick me up from the sick bay because I couldn't walk, and I was bruised there for like, it was...
It's bad.
Oh, it was so bad. Like, Mum genuinely had to carry me to the car. It was a bad time. Like, I can almost feel the pain now.
You get tingles.
Yeah.
Not in a good way. I've actually done that too. I have been kicked by my current teammate.
By my teammate at the time.
Your teammate at the time, Sarah Darcy. We have a great joke about it now, but she did give me a good roost. Kicked me in
the box.
Yeah, kicked me in. Yeah, that's the word I was going with. Kick me in the box. Yep. So at the time, I'm like, well, what happened? You in the moment, I was bruised. That only other funny one that I've heard, and this is, I don't know whether this is going to get cut out, but, you know, you sometimes get like a leg strain, bit of a groin strain, and like sometimes you have to approach the physios and be like, hey, this is what's happened and this is how I'm feeling. I know a few people that have had an incident at home with their partner and stretched their groin and not being able to train or play.
Oh, no.
How do you... I'm sorry.
How do you go in with the honesty?
Hey, Rubes, has this happened to you at all?
Like, the honesty approach to the physio, or are we going, I did it in training?
Well, this is the hard part, because do you start training while you know something's happened, or do you be like, hey, I was at home and I walked down the stairs and I slipped?
Yeah, it's a tricky one.
It is.
I reckon there's a lot of people in the league that can, men's and women's, that can agree with that one, I reckon.
Hey, watch the hamstring. I've got a new one. Super flexible now.
Exactly. How'd you hear that hamstring, Sarah? Right, next one. Favourite AFLW player to play against?
Oh, that's a good one. I love a challenge, like Maddie Press-Parkers, because like for me, I'm like, she's one of the best players in the competition. I played with Mads for 3-4 years. Admire how she goes about her game, but I also love that challenge of like, hey, I know your headspace, I know how you train, and watching her mature over the years. Like, I've had some good battles. She absolutely reamed us the last time we played, but then last year I remember playing and I was like, hey, pat on the back, I shut you down pretty well. Yeah. So I love it. Like, respect Mads, one of my best mates, and love it.
Unit. What a star. Darcy Vesio, I've had my best battles with. Definitely from when I started actually playing good footy, so let's cut out the first 4 years of my career. From
I'm still waiting
when I actually started doing something in the AFLW. Myself and Darcy would play on each other whenever, and it was generally the Pies Blues opener and stuff like that. And it was just so much fun. We'd always, I guess, play on each other, and it was like, who's going to get it? And, you know, Darcy's a freak athlete, and they can do anything at any time that you just go, where are they? And I loved that challenge, and I just think we almost bring the best out of each other a little bit. So,
and when you have those one-on-one matchups, it's like you learn so much. So I love the athletes that have the mindset of like, you know, even at training, I'm going to go and line up on Mon Conti because I know she can rip me a new one. Yeah. And she's going to dominate me and expose my weaknesses.
And you're not going to play too much harder.
Yeah.
Like you man up on Mon Conti in training.
Yeah.
How many other players have Mon's skill set? And so you walk up to a player in the game and you go, that's all right, I've actually played on harder on you. And you back yourself in. Yeah,
it is a good one. Now, I've got one. So, another audience question. If there was a non-AFLW player athlete that you'd have in your team, who would it be?
Straight off the bat, Sam Kerr.
Yes.
Sam Kerr. I mean, obviously Daniel Kerr was a gun. She, Perth girl, would have played footy when she was younger, ended up choosing soccer. She, I hope, when she retires from soccer, I'm still playing, come across, play a couple years.
What posse do you reckon you'd give her?
Anywhere she wants to go.
Yeah.
Anywhere. You'd put her anywhere. She could, like, her aerial abilities, everything. She'd be a freak.
Love that.
It also depends, like, how old she is at that stage. I dare say she'll be playing soccer for a very long time.
I couldn't pick one, so I picked a couple. Ash Barty was the first one that came to mind.
Yeah.
Love Ash Barty. She's a Tiger supporter. Shout out.
Kicks
come down anytime.
In tennis warm-ups.
Yeah, and I reckon, Ash, come down and have a training session because I definitely reckon you could still play.
Yep.
She'd be awesome. I also picked Ronda Rousey, you know, like prime Ronda Rousey when she was fighting.
So
I just think
she can
be
beat up the prize players
yes,
in the brawl in the last round.
Fun.
Yeah, I reckon Ash Brazzard herself.
Get a bit of entertainment.
After throwing you into the fence.
She wouldn't be throwing her into the fence, trust me, and she'd be on my team and I'd be happy about it.
Yeah,
you know? I'd pick a fight with someone and go, I know she's got my back.
Yeah, exactly.
Do a Maddie Shevlin and run away.
Yeah, run away, Grace Campbell. Alona Mayer as well, the American rugby player who blew up on TikTok. She's an absolute unit. I reckon she'd be unbelievable.
She's a beast.
She's a beast.
So good.
Yeah.
My last one that I had was Sha'Carri Richardson. I don't know if I've pronounced her name right.
Yeah.
But she is a American track athlete, I'm pretty sure. Now, one, for her speed, her pace, and what she does on the track, but two, for her personality. Like, she's got a swag. Like, I think she would just bring something else to the competition.
Yep.
The hair colour, the attitude in an awesome way. She's sassy. Like, just really gets people behind her. So I love that.
Love it. Last one. Yay or nay? 5-finger discounts from supermarkets. Now, I want to preface by saying we do not condone stealing. We do not condone any sort of crime on this podcast unless the person really deserved it. You know what I mean? But what I will say.
Well, five-finger discount.
Oh, yes. Explain.
Because when you first said this, I also didn't know. I'm like, was this like kind of like a hatted situation?
Yes, it's your hatted situation, which is
Why is a 5-finger discount?
It's when basically stealing. Yeah. Stealing something from the shops, okay, which we do not condone. Borrowing, exactly. We put it back. I am a sucker for the pick and mix, okay? When I go to the shops hungry, there's nothing worse than going to the shops hungry. The pick and mix, you know how they give, like, they put out the fruit for the kids? They're like, feed your kid as you walk around the shops, and they've got the bananas and the cute little mandarins.
Apples, pears, mandarins,
I think the pick and mix is just the adults version of the fruit shop. You know what I mean? So I am talking myself in here. I might stroll over. I call it, like, if I'm shopping with Rowie, my housemate, I might go, look, I've just got to go have a chat for the pick and mix, and I'll waltz over there. Might grab a couple of little things and have a little snack while I walk around.
You get hungry while you're walking around, isn't it? And, you know, now we're tagging Coles and Woolies, so be careful when Ruby walks.
We are so sorry.
No, I actually genuinely reckon they're going to start putting security guards on pick and mix because they
should.
Well, I agree with you. Now, again, do not condone stealing in that sense. But I am telling, like, anyone listening here, there's got to be less than a 1% chance that someone can stand there and be like, absolutely not. I have never put through 2 lemons when I actually had 4.
Yes.
I struggle walking in knowing that I am paying, now I think it's 25 cents for a paper bag.
No, I know, it's criminal. And the paper bag splits on you if it's
happened to
even
me the other
slightly
day.
too heavy. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
All right, Roops, now we're jumping into our tagged list. Every week, First of all, I am tagging our lovely producer, Tegan, who has just come off Jones's Family Christmas, airing on Stan. I had 2 weeks.
Christmas movie,
yes. Sorry, I should say. Christmas movie. It's on Stan, so make sure you go and give it a listen or give it a watch. For the last 2 weeks, I've sat on my ass, done absolutely nothing, and this gave me a absolutely great laugh, like a good Aussie-style classic movie. It's got some great family dynamics. I'm not going to give too much away, but I'm just going to tell you to watch it.
and our producer Tegan, hands together, she wrote it and features in it.
Yeah.
So Tegs, woo! That's what I'm talking about.
And the claps you can hear in the background, that's a real audience.
That is a real audience. We do this live to thousands every Tuesday. Righto, my tag is, so if you listen to previous episodes, I bought a coffee machine and it is my favourite coffee beans, Little Bird coffee beans, and they are from WA, and I get them from my favourite Perth cafe, which is Twig and Sparrow Cafe, literally on my street, on my house, like the street my house is on at home. Favourite cafe, best coffee because of these coffee beans. Little Bird Roasters, get them. They are absolutely delicious. But
shout out to Little Bird Roasters.
shout out Little Bird Roasters.
I know we are just chatting so much today. Next one, Jess last week tagged Noosa, one of the Noosa day spas. Now, we've spoken a little bit about like you're tagging like some coffee shops, you're tagging like lawn bowls, you're doing some really like Ruby style tags.
Yeah, Darrow. You can say it.
I'm doing some real Sarah style tags. You've got Jackalope, you've got this, that. Jess has done the same thing with Noosa Day Springs, one of the spas.
Bougie.
She's there at the moment. And she has been absolutely treated to a wonderful day spa package. And it worked.
You know what? She said to me before last week's episode, I wonder could I get something for free out of this? So she went in with a plan and she executed to perfection. Noosa Day Spas, well done. You were tricked. You were tricked by Jess Hosking. That is so good.
There's always one teammate that will do whatever they can to get a free.
Yeah, well, come on, Little Bird. How about you send me some bloody coffee beans, will you? That's the least you could do. No, look, that's it from us today. But before we go, we just want to quickly shout out Nicole Livingston. It's actually just been announced that she has stepped down after joining and being the face of the head of AFLW since the second season. So 7 years she has been at this and she's been incredible for us. When we look at the growth, I know, when we look at the growth from the very start to now, she's been a huge part of it. So Nick, we love you. Thank you for everything you've done. Good luck. Whatever is next.
Well, what's next? You're hearing it first here on Tagged. Nick Livingston is actually coming and joining Tagged Season 2.
She wants to be a co-host and you can actually have Sarah's job. So well done. It's Ruby and Nick next year. Have a listen if you love us, which obviously you must. Give the podcast a like, a subscribe. DM us, absolutely anything you want us to talk about. Like, subscribe. You'll be the first to hear whenever there are new episodes out on Spotify and Apple iTunes. But otherwise, we'll chat to you next week.
Thanks.